Back with another episode of All Hands on Tech. I'm your host, Claire Kirian. Today we're joined by Samuel Oladimeji, co-founder of Vedesi, a Halifax-based company offering change management, branding, IT consulting, and cutting-edge web solutions. Vedesi is also the creator of Dwelleroo, a digital property management platform designed specifically with Atlantic Canadian property managers in mind. What started as a solution to a personal family experience has grown into a full-featured platform, helping managers market units, screen tenants, manage maintenance requests, and track rent payments all in one place. Sam joins us to talk about building software rooted in real-world challenges, growing a tech company in Halifax, and what it takes to move from consulting to launching your own product. Welcome to the show, Sam.
Thank you
so
for having me.
Have you here.
Yeah, thank you.
Amazing. We would like to start things off nice and easy with some kind of low-lift questions. So I'm going to ask you a few questions just to get us warmed up. Sound good?
Okay, yeah.
Okay. If you weren't working in tech, what industry do you think you'd be in?
So I like to be in digital marketing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Digital
I
marketing.
love the fact that I can convince people to use a product.
Yeah.
So I think I love that part of myself where I can meet people, tell them how good something is, and they get on board.
The psychology of it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
just
true.
being able to convince someone that this is a very good thing. Can you come on board? And when they come in, see that, oh yeah, this is good. Just like you said. Yeah.
Yeah. That's great. That means you're selling what you're selling is true.
Yeah.
Or else I wouldn't be so happy.
Yeah.
By the product.
Yeah.
Do you have a psychology degree?
No.
No.
I have a chemical engineering degree.
Okay. All right. Left field.
Yeah, and I have an MBA. So, but I think part of my MBA deals with leadership, which psychology came in.
Yeah.
And I'm able to see how those all, kind of fit in to ensure that people understand what they buy.
Yeah.
So that kind of made me to say, well, I think I like this part of myself, even though I'm reserved.
Yeah.
But when it comes to what I believe in, I go all the way out.
Love it. Great answer. What's one app or digital tool that you use every day that you couldn't live without?
I would say Microsoft. Because it's like a tool I've been using for a long time.
Like the whole suite?
The whole suite of it, the
Microsoft
Teams, the everything. Because it's like, it's one-stop shop that has everything I need to collaborate, to communicate, to do things, right? So it's one tool that I can't get tired of using.
Have you ever tried switching to use Google Suite or like a different set of tools?
Yeah, I think I experimented a little, but maybe because I'm already biased, right?
Yeah.
And I love what I see on Microsoft, so I just stick to it. So now, I don't know, I'm hooked.
You're hooked. This is an ad.
Yeah.
Sponsor us, Microsoft. We're actually not getting paid for this, but would love to be.
Yeah.
That's so funny. People are so passionate about like Microsoft or Google or whatever their suite is, and like we have this debate at the office all the time. So many people. Most of our staff are on MacBooks. Some are on Dell, and if you try to switch those people, there's not happening.
I can't believe that.
Yeah, people are like, I don't know how to use this.
Yeah.
Which I'm the same.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay, are you an early bird or a late night builder?
Well, I think early on in life, I think I was an early bird. But now, I'm not sure I go to bed until 2 a.m.
Whoa.
I don't know why. I try to sleep. It doesn't come, so I just get productive.
Wow. Like the best use of your time.
Yeah. And still, I'm awake as early as I can because I need to prepare the kids for school, so I'm up.
Right.
Yeah, so.
Wow. You are efficient.
I think so. I like to say that I'm efficient. So I make best use of my time when I can't sleep, which ordinarily I don't go to bed until 12 a.m., 1 a.m.
Right.
So it's become like a norm. Even when I go, I toss and turn. So I just stand up and get work done.
And you get a lot done when other people are sleeping.
Yep.
There you go.
And it's also quiet, so the kids are sleeping. Everyone is, the house is quiet to myself. I can think, right?
Yeah.
So my brain is functioning overdrive. I'm writing things down. This is the next thing to do. This is not working. this is what we need to change,
Right.
So that time, middle of the night, gives me that time to really reflect on things and also plan for the next day. Okay, in the morning, this is what I'm going to do. This is where I'm going to start my day. This is how I'm going to start the day, and this is how I'm going to end. Of course, in between, things could change,
Right.
but I have a mental map of how the day is going to look like.
I love it. You come prepared for everything.
Yeah.
That's great. Before we get started, I got to do a little plug for one of our longest funders, ACOA, the Atlantic Canadian Opportunities Agency. We're so grateful for the continued support of Digital Nova Scotia, including the workshops and webinars you see on our events calendar. Their funding allows us to also be productive and put a lot out there in the world. So their support helps us bring valuable programming, learning opportunities, and conversations like this one to our tech community here in Atlantic Canada. So thank you to ACOA. Thank you to Sam for being here. Now, all the formalities are finished. We can get on with the show. So to start, let's just kind of set the tone here, paint the picture. Can you tell us a little bit about Vedesi? What inspired you to found your company?
So Vedesi was born out of experience, right? After many years of being in large transformation projects, seeing how projects are being designed, how it's been implemented in health, in finance industry, in public sector, something keeps showing up the gap, right? Mm-hmm. I observed that organizations have good intentions, good idea, but when it comes to implementing that, things fail. And this has been the experience. So some of the clients we've reached out or we've worked with, we've seen they have great idea. But the question is, how are you going to bring those ideas into a reality, right? So Vedesi sit at that intersection where we see your business need, where we see the gap, and we see how we can help you fill it. So we are that one-stop shop that helps you to conceptualize your idea, bring it to reality, help you to see the vision you have, and help you to implement it. And that's where we sit.
I love it. So it all started with you identifying a problem in your own work experience and then creating the solution for it.
Yes. And
that's a great way to start.
So the vision is just simple. It's just to combine strong business understanding of our clients, structured project delivery, right? So that we can see from the initiation to the end, nothing missing, no surprises. We try to think as wide as we can, then tunnel down to what is possible in terms of implementation, not just chasing our tails. No, we come to a place where we see this is possible, not just a fantasy. So a structured delivery and build a system that can replicate itself for you, such that even when we are not there, the structure is there to sustain you into the future. So that's where we sit.
So it sounds like you offer a lot of different services. How do you define your niche in such a crowded kind of IT consulting world?
So I will say niche is sitting, like I said, at that intersection where we see the needs of the business, right? And we see where they want to go to. We kind of help people to see, I'm trying to find a word, get their need and their priorities straightened out.
Right.
A lot of organizations have some fantasy.
Clarity on
clarity,
needs
yes,
and what's
yeah,
realistic.
yeah, that's it. And realistic, like you said. So they have a lot of things they want to do, but do you have the time, the resources to really do it at that time? So we come in to help you structure things out, saying, this is a good to have, this is a nice to have, but based on where you are now in your growth, you don't need to have this. So we sit at that point. That's what differentiates us. We also make things very simple, not complex. And one of my colleagues in UK, he said, I always observed you make things look so simple that others think, is that simple to do? I say, yeah, because my brain, that's how it functions. I simplify things so that I can really provide solution. So we help you to come in, simplify the issues, simplify the gap, and help you to, build a roadmap how you get to that very destination. So that is why we are different. We're unique. We are efficient. I have great people working with me, right? One of our partner, who is also our product manager, is actually an adjunct professor at MIT. U of T, University of Toronto. So that's kind of people that we work with.
Right.
So we have that experience, that expertise to ensure that we can deliver for you.
Right. There's really, really smart people on your team, which is really helpful. I find that honestly, the smartest people are the ones who can take something really complicated and put it in terms that are easy to understand. Like that's how you know that they really understand a concept or a problem, is when they can take this like robust thing and say, here's what that really means. Yeah. Because that shows true understanding, right? And that's something that can then, from there, you can create an action plan. Yeah. Because it's great to have a strategy, but if you don't know how to actually execute on that, then no progress will be made, right?
Yeah. And I think, like I said, we combine that domain understanding with a structured architecture to help you build what you want. So if you are in a place where you don't have the fund, you don't have the expertise, we come in to give you that, to bridge that gap for you, right? Say you're just startup.
Right.
You don't have all the tools. We have simpler tools we can use for you to build. Then later you can scale. And so that is why we're different. We come in to understand where you are. We don't come in to say, oh, we're a big organization, even though we've done for organizations that have been in existence for 35 years, 20 years. But we have people that are just starting out. So we come in to understand where you are and how to help you get to where you want to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. Sounds like you have a robust book of clients.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So I want to talk a little bit of Dwelleroo. So that started from a personal family experience. Can you walk us through that moment and how it evolved from an idea into this full-fledged software program that it is now?
Yeah, so Dwelleroo didn't start just like a startup idea. No, that was not the intention. Of course, I like to build things, but that was not Dwelleroo. So in my past life, I've done things in fintech. And so it's like a niche for me. I'm used to that industry. I've been there for like 15 years. I've built from bespoke to something that scaled, that attracted investment of over $20 million. So I am comfortable there. And so in my head, I can do that anytime. So Dwelleroo is not something I want to do. So, but it came from watching someone we care about go through some pain, some hurt. So this close family friend member just left the province to another one, and they felt like renting out their units. All they had is hope, trust, believing that, oh yeah, we can do this. But all those were dashed.
Right.
Because the situation was so bad that they ended up in tenancy board.
Wow.
So what hurts is not even they losing money, but the stress they went through. Right, driving down, meeting with lawyers, trying to defend themselves. So I started thinking, is there no tool we can use to help you guys prevent such things from happening? Even if you are anywhere, you can still manage your property. You can have one-stop shop where everything is happening for you, in case you find yourself in similar situation, right? So you have a platform where all those documents are sitting, and that is where we started thinking about Dwelleroo. We saw some off-the-shelf application we can use to do screening. So we started saying, let's experiment with this, and we started that, right? But more than just the fact that, like I said, this family member is losing money, but that pain, that hurt, and that's why we started experimenting with Dwelleroo. So Dwelleroo is that one-stop shop that helps you to manage your portfolio, helps you to, from screening stage to getting those informations, those communications, those payments in, where you can see on a dashboard if things is likely going well for you in your property or not, right? Where there's a need for repair, someone can reach out to you and say, hey, and you have all these things documented, right?
Right.
Yeah. So, and that's how we started Dwelleroo. It's beyond making money or being a startup, but to solve that very problem we see people going through.
Right.
Yeah, and also around that time, we had some close family members coming to say, hey, can you help me manage my property? Can you help me manage my units? They don't have an idea that they can do it by themselves if they have the right tool, right? So someone even reached out and say, hey, can you walk me through how to do this? And I say, well, if you go to Dwelleroo, you see the whole process is there.
Yeah.
And they were blown away that, whoa, yeah. So that is how we started. We iterated, changed things, pivot at some point, improve on things, but essentially, Dwelleroo started just from that pain we saw the family member went through, and say, we think we can solve this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a big undertaking to own property, especially one that you lease out to tenants or multiple tenants. So that's amazing that you built a tool that's going to help people be able to do that.
Yeah.
Safely for everyone.
Yeah.
So when you mentioned that there were some kind of off-the-shelf tools that you looked into, but they weren't quite fitting the need or meeting the need of this family friend that you had. What do you think the differences are? Was it they were built for bigger markets? Like they only did certain elements that Dwelleroo can do? Like what do you think, like how does Dwelleroo differ from those ones?
Yeah, so Dwelleroo is, we built Dwelleroo on simplicity. Something very simple for everyone to use. If you subscribe today and you go into the dashboard, you see it's very simple. It's intuitive. Yeah, it's iterative, right? So you can see how things are looking like. You can see your tenant right away on your dashboard. You can see when the payment is going to come in. You can see if you're missing anything, right? So we build it around simplicity, right? Of course, based on our experience, based on what we've heard in the market, based on the reach we've done, we see that property managers don't want something complex. They want something relatable, something just like their Excel, something they are using now. So we felt, let's build this tool that can help. Other tools we've seen was built for bigger markets,
Right.
not giving account to single unit owners, those who have 2, 3, 4, 5. But when we started out with Dwelleroo, that was intention to ensure that landlords or family owners who owns just 1 or 2 properties can use a tool where they have all the history of that unit there. It's not in their Gmail, in their text messages, in one-stop shop. You can see the whole thing. So we build it around simplicity. Dwelleroo is intuitive, like I said. It's practical. Also, it's affordable, right? So it's not something you can break the bank on. So something very easy for you to use. Something that reflects how people actually manage their property, like taking real-life workflow and building it into a tool you can use. And all the feedback we've gotten is that, yes, this is simpler than everything I've used before. I think I prefer this to the other one I've used before because it's easier for me to use, right? Yeah.
That's awesome. So has it evolved since you've built it? You obviously built it for kind of one main reason. Have you added features as time has gone on? Or
Yeah. So the beautiful thing about what we do is we don't just build based on the idea or the pain the family member was going through. We actually went into the market to get those first-hand feedback, right? We met with property managers, with landlords who owns 1 or 2 units, and we tried to understand their pain points. How do you do your work today? What if we give you a tool that can help you do it better, be efficient and effective? And that's what Dwelleroo is all about. Efficiency, effectiveness. And we had that thought with people, those conversations with people, and I think that's where organizations like Tribe, Volta came in, because they help us to structure how we can really get this done earlier in the stage. And so we reached out to people, we sat with people, actually drove down to Two-Room a couple of times to meet property managers there to say, how are you working today? And how will you like to be served? Yeah, so those feedback is why we pivot. So of course, before it's just to solve background check, but we felt we can do more. Part of people we met, we're managing more than 5. One of our property managers, she's managing over 100 landlords.
wow.
So she has over 600 units
Wow.
spread across the whole of Nova Scotia. And she can't be everywhere.
Yeah.
And she has told us many things that's gone wrong. And
Sure,
so
yeah.
from those feedback, we started building. We've had property managers around just 5.
Right.
And they told us their pain points. So we kind of aggregated all this and started building, okay, how do you get documentation in case you find yourself a tenancy board? So we also build to regulation such that it's something that's compliant with the way Atlantic province is doing things, how is compliance to Nova Scotia. We looked at the tenancy board, we reached out to say, okay, what are the things that you think property managers should be doing. Of course, we've not gotten some feedback from them yet, but from the property managers who owns 5, 10, 20, we're able to gather things how it should look like. And so that informed how we built. So we've built the basic one, we call it Dwelleroo Light Plan, such that if you have 1 to 5 units, you can go in there now. We've launched the premium MVP one for the premium one, where you have to pay, and surprisingly, not surprisingly anyway, good enough, we have people who are already paying. We have clients who are on the premium MVP paying as we speak now. And we have those who are using the basic one also as we speak. So that kind of mixture of bags of different experience is how we built Dwelleroo. It simplifies things for you. On the dashboard, you can see if your rent is due. When is it coming in? One of the property managers we spoke to said she's done a lot of volume of collections, but she can't really say how much in a year. She helps the landlord to connect.
Wow.
And we say, well, with Dwelleroo, you can see it. That helps you to, when you want to file your tax.
Yeah.
Just in one place, you can see the whole thing. Oh, this year I did collection over 500,000. This is what I made from all this. But for now, she has to go through Excel, different tools to really see how much did I do for collection.
Right.
We built it such a way that you can manually even impute. So if your rent is due this month, you can set it. That's for the premium and the enterprise one we are building now. The MVP is already out. You can say, okay, I'm expecting $8,000. And when it comes in, you can go there and say, yes, this came in. You can also automate that also, such that as soon as it comes in, the system recognizes it. You don't need to go there manually. But if you don't want to automate, that option is also there for you. But you will see the whole thing, how your platform, your portfolio rather, is performing. And that is what we are doing. So we've pivoted from just the initial one to something that even bigger enterprise can also use.
Yeah, that's great. And I mean, it's going to allow, I'm sure you have clients or will have clients who start on that light version, and then because of the efficiencies they found with Dwelleroo, they're able to maybe buy more properties and upgrade, I'm sure that's one of the goals of that setup. But I really love the part where you talked about how you've built it with the Nova Scotia tenant board in mind and the rules around kind of tenancy in the province. Because if you're going to use, if I'm a tenant and I'm using, or a property manager and I'm using an off the shelf tool that's built for, it's too general, right? So does this meet any requirements for Nova Scotia? Is this built for a market like Toronto or Vancouver? There's so many differences just province by province. So I like that is a differentiator that you guys have built. Yeah. I also think it's reflective of the type of property managers we have across the province. I mean, we have a lot of smaller units. Yeah. People who don't own 5 skyscrapers with 500 units per scraper, right? So it's reflective of the landscape here in Nova Scotia, which I think is really great.
Yeah, like you said, that's one major thing we put in. Building without any assumption. Yeah. So we build based on those feedback, and that is why we're different, not just something imported from any other country, right? Like we built with the Nova Scotian, the Atlantic region in mind. Like you said, given the fact and the peculiarity of how our landscape is, how our business is evolving, how the kind of growth we're experiencing. So we believe that these tools can grow as the region is growing. Like we are one of the fastest growing city, Halifax is, right? The second number of cranes in the whole country is in Halifax. So it means the growth is here. So we are plugging into that to see that we can also give people the tools they can use. Like I said, not an assumption, not a fantasy of how we think things should look like, but the real feedback we're getting from people saying, this is my pinpoint, and this is how I think you guys can help.
Yeah, that's great. So you've talked a lot about building. Obviously, you've built a lot of things in your life, including these products we're talking about today, but we haven't really kind of talked about that process. So what do you think contributes to a good product, more than just good code? Does it require, like you talked about, really understanding the problem and talking to industry, getting their feedback? What are some other things you've learned while being on your builder's journey?
Yeah, thank you for that question. So I would say one major learning thing we've seen is understanding architecture decision early on in stage. So while you're building, you need to have the right tool and platform that can speak to what you want to do in the future. And we learned that from experience, right? And so that's the first thing we put in mind. Have the right tool, have the right architecture that can support you. Also, like I said, not just a wishful thinking or a fantasy, really some problem out there that you think you can solve. And that's how we evolved to where we are today. We looked at our environment, we looked at how people are working today, and we felt we can help, right? And we started reaching out to people. How do you feel if we come into the business to help and support you on this? And the feedback has been great. Yeah. So the point is, when you say what are the processes, first is to ensure that we have the right tool, we have the problem well defined, and we do the requirement gathering to ensure that those requirements are achievable, they are smart. It's not just, like I said, something you wish to do. It's something that you know can solve a problem, and then we roll out. So implementation for me is one of the greatest things. I would say that's my strength. I don't just like to think about something. I like to do it. So if you say this needs to be done, I'm your man.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to ensure that that is done.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are the processes we follow to get to where we are now.
It sounds like you're very involved in kind of all of those phases, which is really great.
Yes.
So you've built your company here in Halifax. What has that experience been like for you? What are some of the advantages do you feel have come from building it in Halifax, and maybe some of the obstacles?
Yeah, so I would say being based here in Halifax has shaped us significantly, right? Because we are growing with the community. As the community is growing, we are also growing. So we see that opportunity to grow, right? And that is the first good thing for us. We are not in a place where it's really crowded, right? Where you have to go through tons of layers of things to get started, get registration, and all those things. But here in Halifax, it's easier to start out, right? And we also we see that the environment is very collaborative.
Right.
There are a lot of agencies, tools here you can use to really scale and grow. People really want to help. They want to see you succeed. That's why we love DNS, Digital Nova Scotia. It's a place where you can also know that you can collaborate. I see the programs that Digital Nova Scotia is rolling out. They're amazing. It helps startups to really plug in, if you plug in, right? You know what I mean? So so that collaborative environment is here. Regulation is flexible, can help you to start quickly and move into the environment. And that's very powerful for us. So as Vedesi, we see that as an advantage. But on the other end, scaling talent here, access to funding is one major constraint we've observed. So for us to really build Dwelleroo the way we want, it means Vedesi needs to be efficient, needs to be working well, needs to be bringing in clients such that all the funding we're getting there is plugged into Dwelleroo itself. But imagine we have access to funding.
Right.
Imagine how we can scale faster, how we can be in the market faster.
Yeah.
Imagine we have access to those funding, because I believe if you have the right funding, you can attract the right talent. Because everyone needs to get paid at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So
all sorts of funding.
Yeah. So that for me is one constraint we see compared to other bigger cities where there are some other programs, some other venture capital here and there. We just want to put money into something that they see is good. We don't have such advantage yet here, but it's changing, right? We're seeing Invest Nova Scotia and other agencies coming up with such collaborative way to get funding, to build and to scale. Yeah. But overall, I would say being in Halifax gives you room to iterate a lot. You can really get prepared for bigger markets from here, and that's why we love it here.
Yeah, that's great. So what do the next few years look for Vedesi? When we talk about growth, what are you hoping to see?
So I will say scaling for us means strengthening what we have, strengthening automation, getting more reports. So we intend to roll out the enterprise feature where bigger firms or bigger property management companies can also use, where they could see report automations and things like that, integrations with some other software that's already available in the markets. That is what we see ourselves do. We want to see how we structure our growth. Now we are in a very small place. We're just trying to get our feet in the waters, but we believe that as we grow, get more clients, that's we inform how we build. So long-term planning is to say we want to build something that's going to be sustainable, something still very simple for people to use, not complex dashboards or confusing dashboards, something very simple. That's our goal, such that in the next 2-3 years, we are one of the leaders in the industry here. So we are not just building software just for the sake of it, but we're building based on people's experience. So those feedbacks we get, I believe, will help us to iterate better, help us to globally position ourselves as that platform that anyone can use anywhere in the world. So it's just like from Halifax to the whole world. That's the intention.
Yeah, I love it. That's great. And I believe after this conversation, I believe that you're going to do that. So looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah, so like I said, we already started to work on the enterprise one. So I have an amazing team that I work with, product managers, front-end engineers, back-end engineers, cybersecurity experts. So we are seeing the whole flow, mapped out the whole product, how we think it's going to look like. But the market feedback helps us to iterate better, to pivot into the real thing, right? Knowing the gap, filling the gap, right? So, but we've already started that now, hoping that in the next 2-3 years, we're able to roll out the enterprise feature such that people can use it efficiently almost anywhere in the world. Yeah. And that's the plan.
That's awesome. So for other founders who might be listening to this and who are thinking about building their own software product, what would be some advice that you might give them based on your journey so far?
So that's a very great question. I think one of the most important questions today. So I will say, start with a real problem you understand, not just what you wish. Find the problem, find the gap, and find a way to fill it. Not just an idea that's exciting, not just a hype, because now with AI, you can build anything within 3 hours, within 2 days. But the question is, to what end? Is this really solving a problem? Do you need
people to use it?
Yes, you need people to use it. So
you
not
can build
just
whatever you want,
everyone. But are they going to use it? So, but if it's a real problem that is solving something in the community, of course, someone's going to use it at the end of the day. So you need to find that first. Also, I would say, talk to users early. Do not wait too long, right? Don't build far out, then start finding out that, this is not going to solve any problem. Talk to users early, get users on board early, get those feedback, because it's going to help you to pivot where you need to. It's going to help you to iterate better and help you to roll out a good product. And I would say last thing is start small. It's good to be ambitious, but start something you can really scale. Get the right infrastructure such that when you're ready to scale, you're not struggling. You're not breaking down the whole thing again and starting all over. So those kind of decisions needs to be made earlier on, and that could guide you to, roll out a very great product.
That's great advice.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. This has been a really great conversation. I learned a lot, and I think you will inspire a lot of people who are looking to start their own thing. There's a lot of really good nuggets in this conversation. So thank you so much, Sam.
Thank you for having me. It's been a great thing to be here.
Awesome. Thanks.
Thank you.